Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for spending some time with me today, and I know everybody's busy, and I really appreciate you watching my video. I don't take that for granted. If you would, hit subscribe, share my videos with others, and help me grow my channel. Anyway, I'm headed home from taking some FMLA paperwork to my surgeon. Friday afternoon, I went in to work for a co-worker that was sick. I was there about 2 hours, and I got to hurting so bad that I couldn't hardly walk. Threw up a couple of times. It was hurting so bad. I knew there was something wasn't right, so I had to call my co-worker and tell him just take call from the house, and told my wife to get ready to take me to the ER. There was something wrong. Anyway, got to the ER. They'd done a CT. Of course, I had a kidney stone. Never had one before. I definitely don't recommend it, because I mean, that by golly hurts. I never had anything hurt so bad in my life. While they was doing a CT scan, they figured out that my gallbladder was very enlarged and needed to come out. So I spent the night, Friday night, in the hospital. Saturday morning, cut me open, got my gallbladder out. Been good, and I only had to take 2 pain pills since surgery. Today's Tuesday. Had it Saturday, as I said. Had a couple of pain pills Saturday right after surgery, but other than that, hadn't had any pain other than that stupid kidney stone that finally came out. Either Monday night or Tuesday, I finally got that thing out. Oh, anyway, it's been quite the ordeal. Anyway, wanted to talk about post-spawn bass fishing. Most of us has got post-spawn fish right now. There'll be a lot of fish staying up shallow, garden fry, chasing bluegills and shad spawn. But there'll also be a population of fish moving out deep, getting moved out deeper, and right now a lot of time is the deepest those fish is going to be. They're going to move out deep, and then they'll move back up a little bit during the summer because of the thermocline, because there's not a thermocline right now. We'll get into that here in a minute. Right now, the shallow fish, popper style bait, like a popper, be really good. Fished around brush, and because we've had a lot of rain here in the south, water's up in the brush. You can throw that popper in and around buckbrush, around laydowns, and throw it up there. If it's not windy, it's not too windy, just throw it up there and let the rains disappear, and give it a couple of little pops and let it set still. A couple of pops, let it set still, and if they're up there in garden fry, they'll think it's something up there to get their fry, and they'll blow up on it, or they'll think it's a little bluegill if you're using a bluegill pattern bait, and they'll come blow up on it. Another good bait this time of year is a wacky rig, Senko. Throw it up there weightless and let it slowly drift down, and especially around boat docks and more standing timber. I have thrown it around laydowns out in the deeper ends of it, but they wacky rig will work extremely well around boat docks, and a lot of times those fry will get up and under boat docks, and so of course the bass will follow them up there to guard them, and then of course bluegill will follow them up there to try to eat them, and the wacky rig and Senko type bait, Yum Dinger, any of those works well. Throw it up there, let it go down 2 or 3 seconds, give it a couple of twitches, let it flutter back down 3 or 4 or 5 seconds, give it a couple of twitches until you figure out what depth the fish are at. Most of the time they're going to be pretty close to the bottom of the dock. So you'll want to just let it sink down. I don't usually let it sink down more than 5 seconds. Most time not even that long. I just try to keep it up there pretty close to the bottom of that float. Another great bait would be a swim jig. You can throw a swim jig up and under there, and whenever it's right after the spawn and they're guarding fry, I try not to throw it up there and just reel it straight back in. I try to keep it in one place as long as possible. I'll throw it up there and just sit there and keep my rod in, just twitching the whole time. I think they call it the Alabama twitch or something like that. And you kind of slow reel and you're constant twitching as you slow reel it, and that's going to put a lot of action into that swim jig, and it's not just going to bring it right straight back in. And that works well around the boat docks. If they're moving out deeper, the fish start to move out deeper, I will be throwing a jig, throw it out there, and I like to drag it a lot this time of year, or a slow reel. I usually use a 1/2 ounce jig. Bluegill pattern works great. True Faith Custom Baits makes a great bluegill pattern, and I throw it most of the time, especially this time of year. I'll either slowly drag it, or I'll constantly slowly reel it in and bang it off the bottom, off the rocks and stuff on the bottom. Another bait that I will be throwing out there a little deeper is a wobblehead, True Faith Custom Bait wobblehead with a Big Bite Fighting Frog on it, or a Zoom Ultra Vibe also works really well, or the Zoom Z-Craw is another great option to put on the back of a wobblehead. Just throw it out there, let it go to the bottom, slowly reel it, and let it bang over the rocks and the brush down there on the bottom. And the fish will come down there and they will flat attack it. If they're being finicky, shaky head is a great option this time of year. I use the fatter shaky heads this time of year. Zoom makes a good one. It's the bigger finesse worm, trick worm, the fatter one. Can't think the name of it right now. But I'll put that on shaky head. Those fatter ones seem to work better this time of year for me than the thinner ones do. And I'll use it usually on a 3/16 ounce head. Sometimes 1/4 ounce, most times 3/16 ounce head. And hop that back to the boat, or drag it back to the boat. And then it's going to be crankbait time. Depends on the depth that you're finding the fish. You may be using a DT6, DT8, DT10, DT14, 16, 20. I like the Rapala DTs. I also like the Tactical Bassin crankbait. And then the Strike-King XDs works great. 5XD, 6XD, they all work really great for deep deep cranking. I'll also use a rock crawler still if they're still up there and less than 14 foot of water. I like to still throw a rock crawler. So any of those crankbaits will work. Throw them out there, let it bang the bottom all the way out as far as you can to the boat, and those fish will come up there and nail it. This time of year is about my favorite time of year to fish at crankbaits, when those fish is moving back out deep. They're extremely active, eating after the spawn, and they eat a crankbait really, really well this time of year. And anyway, I usually throw the crankbaits on 10-pound test line and fluorocarbon line. So I usually throw my crankbaits on. Medium heavy rod, 7 foot, 7'3". The shaky head, I usually use a 7 foot spinning rod with a 3000 series reel with anywhere from 6 to 10 pound fluorocarbon. The jig, the wobble head will be on a 7.3 medium heavy rod with anywhere from 12 to 20 pounds of fluorocarbon. And then the popper, topwater baits, I'll be using normally 10 to 15 pound monofilament. I use monofilament because fluorocarbon sinks and monofilament will float. And I normally use the Trilene Big Game green line. That green Big Game seems to be tougher than the clear, and you can flat horse in some good bass on that Trilene green Big Game. It is extremely tough line, and it's extremely cheap. You can get like 660 yards for 10 bucks or something like that, and it is a great line. Anyway, that's my post-spawn update, and I'm at the house now, so I guess I'll get off of here, and hopefully soon I will see you on the water. Have a blessed week, and again, please like and share my video and hit subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.